Hey, this is the Review Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing the new horror comedy M3GAN. As always, my review will be illustrated and the artwork is done by myself. And if you like movies, art, and comic books, please hit that subscribe button because all my reviews are hand drawn and I like to get to 1,000 subscribers soon so my channel can be official. This movie stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, and Ronnie Chang, and it's directed by Gerard Johnstone. Now, this is a non spoiler review, so everything I discuss will have been shown in the trailer. Absolutely no spoilers. I'll tell you briefly about the plot, the characters, my pros and cons, final thoughts, and if this is worth checking out at your local movie theater. Plot wise, Violet McGraw's character, Katie, loses her parents in a horrific car accident. Her aunt, played by Allison Williams, becomes her sole guardian, but her character is very career oriented. She doesn't have the maternal mommy gene in her. She also seems to have the perfect dream job working at a toy company and creating new toys. That was fascinating and looks like a fun career, and I secretly wish I worked there. So, she's been working on this new Android toy to be a one stop shop device for kids, a true toy companion, an Android BFF basically. And of course, we all know all dolls are creepy, AI and electronics are evil, and crazy things are bound to happen. So I'm going to get right to the point and let you know I was extremely pumped to see this after seeing the trailer. Very excited, and I'm saying to myself, yeah, 2023 is going to start off with a bang. Well, I was wrong. It started off with a whimper. This was a bit of a letdown. It's not a horrible film, and it is entertaining with a decent amount of laughs that audiences will rather enjoy. However, the big issue is the rating. I actually didn't I actually didn't even realize it was PG-13 until I left the theater. And throughout the duration, it felt so Disney to me, watered down, and it never felt R-rated. It's straight up soft PG-13, not even a hard PG-13. They pretty much went Thor Love and Thunder on our ass. And for a comedy horror film, it just gives you comedy. There wasn't one jump scare. My theater was about 80% full, and no one screamed or gasped like a sissy. Now, the scary doll genre is nothing new. It's been recycled endless times, and the thing with scary dolls and AI going zany bonkers is trying to keep it fresh and inventive. I always felt this film was on the cusp of doing something fresh and inventive, but scenes abruptly end and it never goes there. There was a lot of cliche things that you could spot from a mile away. However, I did like the social commentary on technology and how reliant we are on it, and how perhaps AI can be destructive and possibly have a mind of its own and go rogue. There were some interesting themes, such as the creator creating something that goes horribly wrong, the joys of parenting, and tech going haywire. That was all interesting, but there was just never enough to pull me into the narrative. Now, there are some good things going on, which brings me to my pros, and my first pro are the performances. I thought everyone in the film was good and very likable and did a good job, especially with what they had to work with. Allison was excellent because I really sensed the emotional bind she's in. I thought she genuinely cared about her niece and was trying to do the right thing. And when it came to those emotional scenes, she did a good job at conveying the stress her character was going through. Now, Violet's good too, but she isn't given much to do. The majority of her scenes are just her sitting there and looking sad. Also, I have no idea why, but something happens to her character around the end of the second act and going into the third act, and she does a complete 360 turn. I don't know why this happened or if it's sloppy writing in order to have certain events occur in the third act, but it just seemed random, and when this happened, she was just downright hateful. It actually took me out of the film, and she clearly needed medication. Next, I'm a fan of Ronnie Chang, so it was good to see him again. Even though he's been in other projects, I feel like he's been missing in action since Crazy Rich Asians. It'll probably be 100 years before we get a sequel, but I digress. He actually has a rather large supporting role, and you probably wouldn't think that since he's only in the trailer for one scene, but he's actually sprinkled throughout. I thought he brought a nice energy and vibe whenever he was on screen. And I do feel at this point that he is typecast and he's really playing another version of himself or from his comedic stand up persona because he's just that douchey guy that spews out random nonsense for the sake of giving verbal diarrhea and being loud. You know, the same person he played in Shang-Chi. I hope he doesn't fall into that trap of being a one trick pony like Melissa McCarthy and Ryan Reynolds, where you just don't see range of any kind. It didn't bother me here because his character is intermittently used, and I think that was a smart choice just to have him in small doses. Also, a big shout out to the performances by the voice actress to the actual kid actress underneath the costume. Amy Donald plays Megan's physical part and did a great job with her movements. It was robotic when it had to be, and ballerina and slithery like when it was needed. It really added to the film in a good way and gave Megan some finesse. I also like how she suddenly has a stripper voice when she becomes evil. Okay? Okay. Another pro is the third act because it does have some tense, entertaining moments during the final showdown. And at that point, Megan has become very animated with tons of personality, which was fun to watch. All of that was well done and entertaining, and I kind of wish that third act was a bit longer. It could have been a lot juicier. Now, the comedy element worked for me here. It was a smart choice to have it be Megan and not Michael. They really have her doing ridiculous things for comedic sakes, and they would never make a male doll do this, so it was crucial the doll be female. And because of it, you get more oomph and pizzazz and sassy attitude where you can't with a male doll. I mean, there was no way they were going to make a male doll drop it like it's hot, do dips, splits, twirls, and twerk a booty. Okay? Okay. I have three cons, and the first is they forgot they were making a horror film. I have no idea who made the executive decision last minute to change it to a PG-13 rating, but the rating is its own worst enemy and is very noticeable. We've seen good PG-13 horror like The Ring, and I understand they did it to make money, but it comes at the sacrifice of having quality content. We don't need horrific, gory kills, but instead of this, we get this. I hope a director's cut gets released and perhaps audiences can experience it the way it was meant to be. People have expectations when they see the Blumhouse banner and James Wan, and after Halloween ends, I needed a good horror film. Next, the tone is very campy, which didn't bother me, but I really wish we got an even balance of comedy and horror. Megan even has musical numbers, and yet it was funny, but the film struggled to reach batshit crazy heights. There was never a sense of dread or impending doom. There were never any real tense moments or parts where you felt some anxiety. I mean, the atmosphere was the furthest thing from tense. And my last con is the dance sequence. I think many audiences came here for that, and if you think she's going to dance for 2 minutes straight before going in for a kill, you are sorely mistaken. Also, all the kills were pretty much shown in the trailer. No surprises left. And there's actually some gruesome stuff shown in the trailer that aren't even included in the theatrical release. Now, this brings me to my final thoughts, and this film gets a 5 out of 10 from me. It's not a horrible film, but it really is mediocre at best, with some points where it sort of went above average but never fully committed. It is entertaining to a certain degree, but the horror aspect was disappointing, or the lack thereof. At the end of the day, it didn't have enough interesting things going on to make me feel invested. However, I would still recommend you check this out at theaters because you will definitely have a good time. Seeing this in a communal setting with complete strangers will only make it even better. You know, 2023 is off to a rocky start, but I have my fingers crossed Scream 6 delivers because I need a good horror thriller. Now, I also wanted to wish everyone a happy and healthy 2023, and I hope all your dreams come true this year. Now, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you like, please subscribe, helps the channel out a lot. Hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share this with your friends. Thanks for checking out this review. I hope you enjoyed it. And leave your comments below on whether you like the film or not, and I hope the pictures put a smile on your face.